the Budhole Podcast.
Welcome to the Budhole. It's your chance. Do your dance at the Budhole.
It's the bit.
Check it out.
I mean, if the last thing I ever saw was an alien, I'd die happy.
We just want to say before this thing starts, thank you so much to our loyal listeners, and here you go with another great Budhole podcast. Brought to you by Star Lamar, Brandon, Gage's Rage, and Scott on the Budhole Podcast Network.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Budhole Bit. This is a movie review bit with a food review as well and a Budhole 5. I am Scott.
Star Lamar.
The great Brandino.
And your boy Gage's Rage.
So here's what we got for food. We're going to dive right into this thing because there's no reason to waste time when food's sitting on the table. We have and I totally just, it's based on what this is.
It is a baked French wheat
Bruschetta.
with a egg, oil, garlic spread, and a
Vinegarless cucumber pickle.
Yeah.
Cucumbers.
spread. I don't know. It's a cucumber on bread.
With a
little bit
garlic,
of
with
a
a little
sauce.
garlic and cream
Mayonnaise.
cheese marmalade.
Cream cheese.
Marmalade. That's
Twice
a good
reduced.
What is marmalade?
I
It
don't
sounds
know,
like
I
a
just
movie.
Made it up.
I thought it was like lady marmalade.
Now, if I remember correctly, Gage is dipping out on this.
Yep.
He won't eat that. Star's dipping out on this.
I just ate one,
Okay.
and you tried one. I'll try it again.
Okay.
It was slightly better than thick water.
Okay. Slightly better. Brandon's in on this too, right? Brandon, you'll try one?
For sure.
All right, let's do this. Let's try these. You guys grab yours and hand them over.
I want a thick bread one, because you know what they say. Life is like a shit sandwich. The more bread you got, the less shit you got to deal with.
I love that quote. Never heard it before. That is first.
I don't know if I want to dive balls deep into a big sliced cucumber. I'm going to go with a halvesies over here. I'm going to go the man route.
Do we need to hand it over to you? You're going to
No,
walk?
I'll just come walk over and grab it.
I think I get how you guys felt when I made food. It's like, am I picking the wrong one?
So one of these has habanero peppers in it.
Scott picked all three of them that do. He's got four.
One of these has ghost pepper in the
I see which one it is.
Marmalade.
yeah. And I'll guarantee it's none of these four.
Those four.
It's
are
none of
great.
these four that I just picked, but one of them has ghost pepper in it.
All right. One bite.
Everybody knows the rules.
Down the hatch. It's a good crunch.
No problem.
Is it not that good or not that bad? I like it.
It's a good little summer moi.
I have like a gag reflex for vegetables. I've had it since I was a kid. I don't know how to get rid of it. So I can stomach this for sure. But I still got that gag going. I don't know. I thought when I turned to an adult it would go away, but it hasn't yet.
Good to know. 6 years later, I'll still be gagging.
For different reasons.
Yeah, and then
That's
I
true.
still hate vegetables.
Of all the vegetables, though, cucumbers are pretty mellow.
They're tame.
Like
My wife makes a really good cucumber salad. Shout out, Paige. That's all I
Shout
got.
out, Paige.
That was it.
She's like, say good things about me. That's one
I
of
did my part.
one of many.
So what's the final review, Scott?
You know,
Is this an overall food review? Is this like a specific
Yeah, because if
spread?
Was
I'm
this the
basing
snack?
it off of the last time I had this, then it's any score I can give it. I've never had it before.
yeah, so overall, I would say flavor, how much I like it, taste, everything included. This right here is probably about, I would say probably about 6.9.
I'd say 6.9. As far as vegetable bread goes.
Guys are so ridiculous. It's a 6.9. Definitely. Out of 7. I like it. It's enjoyable. I'll eat a couple more.
It's a good starter tray, tapas, for a party. People can snack on it until the real food comes, the meat. You know, or maybe if I'd force myself to do it more often, I can trick myself into liking it. And we go from there as an adult.
Trick myself in the way.
Maybe this is what's holding me back and making me live at home and stuff like that. Is my dislike for vegetables. Got Peter Pan syndrome. Don't want to grow up. Don't want to eat my vegetables. As soon as I eat my vegetables, boom! I get that job that pays me $150 a year.
You're in the
Boom,
NFL.
I move out. Boom! I'm in the NFL. It's all eat
Those
your
extra
vegetables,
3 inches
kids.
you've been waiting for to grow? Those bigger hands? Boom! They're both there.
Boom, boom, shakalaka.
Where
At this
did-
point, Star, would you rather have a nice little 4-year NFL career, or would you rather be an agent for a bunch of NFL players?
I'd rather have a 4-year NFL career.
Be a real NFL player.
Yeah.
I personally think
But
I'd
just
rather be an
because then
agent.
I want to retire.
Oh, and just
I
be
don't
done
want to
with
work. Yeah. If I had to if I was a first round pick, 4 years is all I need. I'd retire at like $2 million right now. Live the rest of my life.
Could you
I drink cheap
imagine
beer. Eat cheap
dealing
food.
with fucking superstar divas all the time too?
I personally think I would kind of have fun. I think it'd be fun. The thing that would suck about it, though, is you're working all the time.
Yeah.
What'd you do,
all
AB?
the time?
You froze your feet off? All right. I can spin this in a good way.
I think of the 4 of us, I think I'd be the best to do it.
You'd be the best until you traded the dude after 2 fucking weeks because you just get a boner for trades.
That's debatable though, because I think of the 4 of us, I'm the best at doing anything, but maybe second best. Maybe. Who knows?
Number 2. And that's the food review.
Boo.
Yeah, we're going in for extras. So, movie. Last week's movie was The Matrix. 2 of the 4 people had never seen it. That
was
movie
me.
came out when I was in 4th grade, I believe. And my parents took me to the movie theater to see it. And prior to it coming out, my idea is that, we're all just 5 liters of blood sloshing around a big, meaty bag, turning food into poop, and trying to fuck a little bit. But after I saw The Matrix, I realized it could be totally different. What if we are just batteries in the machine, and this is all a simulation? So that's why I wanted to enlighten you guys into what could possibly be going on right now. So I'd love to hear what you guys think of the movie I picked.
Yeah, I'd like to start with Brandon.
I'd love to start. Were those your thoughts as a 4th grader?
Yeah.
God, those
I had
are
Cinemax.
Those are inquisitive thoughts.
Eating and shitting and just trying to fuck a little bit.
Just turning food into poop.
Just a 10-year-old star.
Some things never change. Where to begin with the movie? First off, you're starting to play mind tricks on Gage.
What you mean? I already took the red pill, dog.
He's woke.
I thought the movie, it was not what I was expecting, first off.
No.
Not at all. I was more expecting it to be, I don't even know what I was expecting. But when he slid down that little, sludge tube after he got released and he took the red pill, I was like, what the fuck is this weird, sludgy, naked dude sliding down a tube? It was not the video I wanted to watch.
Well, it's supposed to be a mind fuck.
It was definitely
Big
a mind
mind
fuck.
It was at the time super groundbreaking too. There's been nothing like that before.
So I try to take that into consideration because I don't think it aged that well. Because it was a lot of CGI and special effects and everything, and the longer that goes on, the worse it's going to look back in the day. Whereas Back to the Future was more of a story, a plot. There wasn't so much CGI and the going back and forth. It was real things, just picturing it in different times. So I feel like that stands up to the test of time better. But overall, I did enjoy the movie. I mean, it makes you think, am I a battery? Would I take the red pill? Would I fight these weird computer demons? I'd be Keanu Reeves.
They took over.
I feel like the
we
red pill
we
is the only
scorched
answer.
the sun, and then they turned us into batteries. It's war, kind of Terminator-ish in points. Kind of reminded me of Inception on this watch through, because I don't know if I've watched it since I've seen Inception, with the whole, if you die in the Matrix,
Excuse me.
your mind is telling you died. You can't live without the mind. If you die in the dream world, your mind's telling you died. So it seems like Inception kind of took a few things from it.
From
And
the
you
Matrix.
can do what you want in Inception. There
14
is no
years later.
spoon. Basically, is all Inception is about.
Yeah. But if you realize that you're in the Matrix and you're getting shot, you realize that it's not actually hurting you. Can't you bypass that by just realizing, like, okay, I'm safe? Like, I know this is a simulation.
I think you have to be really
one.
special.
The chosen
because
one.
there's two more that, unlike Back to the Future, I wouldn't recommend you watch them unless you really want to.
I mean, Matrix 2 is pretty fucking good.
They're way more CGI, way more action, slightly more confusing.
Yeah.
They go into the architect and, they go to, what's the girl's name that they go to visit? The Oracle. There's like multiple oracles, and they go through the history of how they got there and stuff like that. And it's good, but he learns to do a lot more things as his journey from being the one and being the savior.
Like he gets a better grasp on his
Jesus
powers.
Christ.
Yeah.
In the
He's
movie.
the one.
He's the one. He's the savior of the human race and everything like that.
So when you're saying, there's a lot of CGI, the robot, spider, whatever the fuck they are, squids.
Looks like
You
a
don't-
cartoon almost.
You don't think those guys look good? I mean, I thought for being 2000, they still...
I think it was terrible, but I think it was cheesier.
It's all like
It's 20 years old.
it's all perception, right? So like if you watch, even for me, like if I watch The Dark Knight now on TV versus when I remember watching it, it's not as good. Like the special effects are not as good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same way I felt about The Matrix. Like I'm sure back in '99 it was fucking mind blowing how awesome
When
it
he
was.
stopped the bullets or when he dodged
Yeah.
them for the first time and jaw to the floor. Like, oh, this is so cool.
So like that part of it, I don't feel like I quite clicked with me just because it was like 20 years later.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that's kind of what Brandon was trying to say, though.
Yeah, I
That's
don't think
how
it
I
was
felt.
terrible, but yeah, it's seeing it when I was maybe 6-7 years old is different than seeing it when I'm 20 years later.
And I was in that boat. I saw it when I was really young. Don't really remember too much. It was like rewatching it. There's a lot I didn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember, like, we always watch all the bonuses and special effects and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, the Kung Fu, he's tethered up. That was all real fighting, and when she runs on the wall, like, they did that with strings.
Yeah.
But I did take a few notes. I could rip through them real quick.
Rip them.
I was trying to figure out if Neo was like a acronym from his name, and it's just not.
It's just Neo. They just picked it.
Or if there's a Neo in the past or something.
Yeah. But there was one thing. His name was Anderson, and then the main agent, is he Mr. Smith?
Agent Smith, yeah.
Agent Smith. Okay. So never mind. So then, he's on the outside of that building, and he drops his phone. That Nokia definitely survived.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
No way the thing is gone. That's for sure still functional.
I ran over 6 times and it's still there. Put a big old dent on the road.
It's been 20 years and the battery's still at 98%.
A big old dent in the road.
Perfectly good. My next note is that's my kind of crane game when he was plucked out from the bodies.
So I had a question when I was watching that.
Okay.
Was that he was being disposed of by the machine? Because the machine kind of took him and like shoved him out. So did they think that he was no good anymore and he was dead, and that's why they flushed him and he got saved? Or why did the machine come and look at him and flush him out and stuff like that?
I think it's because he took the red pill, right?
Woke him up. And
But
then
so
he got
who
plugged.
woke him up? The pill had nothing to do with it. The pill is just
Him making a choice.
him making the choice.
Yes.
And then did they like make it so that he died but he actually didn't die and woke up? Or how did they do it? Because they make the mention like we can't wake everyone up because people aren't ready for it. Similar to why we don't know about aliens yet and we don't know about the bubble that's covering the earth because people would be afraid.
Lose their damn minds.
So that's they can't wake everyone up only if they're ready to wake up.
Yeah, so that's where I think maybe it's Morpheus pulling those strings. He's the controller of the crane game, sort of thing. He's picking his guy. So my next note is everybody falls their first time. I can't remember what that
That's
was.
when they were jumping across the buildings.
Oh
And
yeah,
people were excited. They thought he was going to make the jump, and then
Everybody falls their first time. I don't remember why I wrote that, though.
I did that too with a couple lines I thought were cool from it. Cypher said that.
oh
Everyone
yeah.
falls their first time.
What a dick too.
What
Oh
a
my
piece
God.
of shit. But he made a good point. He's eating the steak, and he said, "This doesn't taste good anymore. I know it's not a real steak. I want this to be a real steak in my head again. I want to go back to not remembering. Ignorance is bliss. Put me back in the fucking machine.
Let
and-
me forget.
I want to not know.
I don't want to know anymore. And that would probably be true for a lot of people that go, that's not a nice life. I say it with zombies all the time. Zombie apocalypse, fucking take me. I don't care. I'm not going to live my life trying to run from zombies.
That
Kill me
life
now.
would suck.
Like,
I'm a survivor.
Yeah, I gotta live.
you got something to live for, though.
I just gotta live.
You got a child to protect.
You got reasons to be alive. I got nothing.
If I can't have internet, fuck it, dude.
It's over,
Get me
bro.
out
Stop
of here.
making natter days.
Okay, my next note: Morpheus's shades were sick.
At the time, too. It's so cool.
They're
those
still
those
fucking
aged way more than
badass.
everything else. Just the tiniest little thing.
Yeah, they're sweet
When he
though.
puts it in, like just so
They're
badass.
badass. Yeah.
So then the serum they shot him up with, was that truth serum or what was the serum?
That they shot Morpheus up with?
Yeah.
I think so, but it was starting to kill him.
Oh, because he was
But-
fighting it so hard.
Yeah, and that's when they're like, we should end him because we don't want him to give
Spill the
away.
beans.
Yeah, it might have
They
just
didn't
been
know
pain.
fucking Cypher was.
That was basically they're waterboarding him and stuff like that. So
I will say that's a type of movie where I feel like you could watch it 4 times and get something out of it every time.
For sure.
Like one time watch through on it, I feel like there's a lot of shit that I didn't quite get. I was actually texting Brandon, and believe it or not, Back to the Future I almost quit watching. This movie I almost quit watching.
way to be a
Damn.
team player.
And I was like, I can't not watch it, but it's
I
a
watched
long
Just
movie.
Go With It. All right, you
That's
can watch
true.
it.
yeah,
That's true.
exactly. For real though.
But it's the same thing. I'm glad I didn't quit watching it. But like, I'm sitting there in the first hour, and I'm like, God, I got this much of this movie left. Like this shit, it was such a mind fuck.
That last hour though.
Yeah.
The last hour was worth it.
Oh fuck
Definitely.
yeah! All right, I only got a couple more notes left. Watch out for them fingers though. When he blocks his punch and then he gets hit with the fingers. I love that one so much.
Watch out for them fingers, though.
And then last note, a true love story. That's all that.
You know how I know you're
Matrix
the one?
is.
The Oracle told me I'd be in love with the one, and I'm in love with you. I got a couple notes too. I said Agent Smith is probably one of the best castings of anything.
Oh, yeah.
That dude played that character perfectly.
Perfect.
I don't. Every time I see him in a movie now, I can only imagine him as Agent Smith. The scene where they shot the little thing into his belly button,
Creepy
that
as
made
fuck.
me think. So that's how we're fed when we're in the bellies, right? And it gets cut. Is there still a direct line, like to my stomach, inside my belly button?
No, probably not.
Does it disintegrate inside? Because
Yeah,
that was,
I think it dies inside. Yeah.
and just like falls out.
Yeah.
Like shrivels up and
I wonder if I digged real deep, if I could like get into my stomach.
Well, you try tonight in Texas in the morning.
Just a good, really long Q-tip.
I know it'd smell bad.
try doing that without pissing your pants.
That
Not possible.
That part, by the way, was so like just creepy.
Yeah.
It was
You just see this
uncomfortable.
little thing freaking. And he's
I
like,
stopped digging in my belly button after that.
So I said the phones, cool ass phones. I don't even know if those were real at the time, but I remember wanting one real bad.
they
Just
could
to
not have been real.
click, and it just. They made them opposite where the top shot up.
Yeah.
and not the bottom shot down. It might have been real, but thought those were dope as fuck. I like how in older movies that take place in the future, how the tech is so limited to what the mind can think of at that time. So they're in this spaceship, but the screens are like technology that was around in 1999. So it's always funny when I'm watching that, and there's like the oldest touchscreen that was in a 1998 Mazda or something like that is how they're controlling everything on the Nebuchadnezzar.
Yep.
And he's like, "What year is it?" Well, we're closer to 2199. It's like, "Oh, you still have the same technology. Great, cool."
Favorite line in it was when they're on the elevator and he drops "There is no spoon" and he shoots it because that shows he's free in his mind from the Matrix. The little kid taught him it. But then the scene where he's going through all his training and he wakes up, he goes, "I know Kung Fu." Second favorite line in it. And it got me thinking, if you could program yourself like that to learn anything, and then also later in Trinity learns how to pilot the helicopter in like matter of seconds, if you could learn how to do something like that and be a master of it within seconds, what program would you want?
God dang it, that's a heck of a question.
I would learn how to program any program possible.
So you would just be.
I want
programming other
infinity
people.
wishes.
No, because I would.
No,
learn
you
to-
would just be programming other people.
That was not what my wish was. That was not my wish.
If I had one wish, I'd wish for unlimited wishes.
We're all a program, though.
I wish to reprogram myself into whatever I want to be. If I had to pick like one concrete thing,
It's like, boom, you're a master of it now.
His mind is so free. He's not even tamed by yourself right now.
I'm
That
not.
question.
I feel like Gage's Rage has something in mind.
I'm
here.
floating.
I'm trying to decide between like
Time travel and
Laying pipe.
laying pipe.
I want to be master of sex.
well,
Watch
I
out for
already
them
am,
fingers, though.
so-
I already am, though.
No, like it's tough to figure something else. Like maybe like putt golf or something. I don't know.
You can think harder.
Anything in the world, and you choose maybe putt golf.
Like, do you have a really hard time with that right now, Gage? Dude,
If you could
I
just
can give you
ace
some
every
lessons.
shot, are you kidding me?
Is that something
What value does that bring you?
You can make a lot of money on a putt golf course.
How often do you putt golf?
Enough.
He'd golf more if he was a master at it.
If I was the master, I'd never stop.
I would probably learn some like really tough science, maybe like a rocket science or some sort of like
be the
Quantum
Tony
physics.
yeah, something that's like very up there that I can't even think of. I want that programming.
I'd learn Japanese actually, different language.
You could do that.
Japanese is you don't even
You could do that with
program.
Rosetta Stone,
It's-
dude.
Or
Yeah.
Chinese. Sorry, Chinese is
Chinese.
Chinese
you need
is
a
very
program.
tough.
Chinese is not a
Very tough.
language.
Mandarin.
Mandarin. There we go. Thank you. Sir.
I'm leaning either cook, being like a really good cook, because I'm ass at it right now, or musical instruments. If I could just all of a sudden be able to pick up a guitar and do whatever I want and play piano and stuff, I think that'd be really cool.
Musical
What-
instruments is
And I
one I
don't
thought
have-
of.
I
To be
don't
able to
have the
pick up
patience.
any instrument and play it would be sweet.
Okay, any instrument that would be cool.
Because, like, I have zero
Well, then,
musical
could I say
acumen right
any
now.
language?
Yeah.
All right, any language for sure with the bullet.
To be lingual in any language at all would be sick.
That brings me to another thing. I read a book called Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And in the book, there's a thing called the babblefish that they put in their ear. And it immediately translates so they can travel wherever they want and talk to whoever they want.
Oh, and it'll...
And it just translates real time. So you're speaking your language to them. They're speaking their language back to you, but you understand each other. Is that a realistic technology?
Absolutely.
At least for Earth as
Yeah,
of right now,
surely.
because we know all these languages. There's smart enough people that can teach people these languages.
Oh, and because we haven't unlocked that telekinetic communication yet.
That'll be here in the
Yeah.
next 5 years, though.
Just an instantaneous translator that's in your ear.
It's like a reverse hearing aid
Yeah.
type deal.
I think they're gonna skip right over that and go like to the Bluetooth, like you're saying. Just process my thoughts right into your head.
maybe.
No, they're already building telekinetic chips to put in your brain that are going to help you with, like, if you lose feeling in your legs, they're going to be able to implant chips in your brain to help your brain reconnect those neurons. So you'll be able to use your legs. If you lose vision, you'll get your vision back. And it's going to be at the same point, probably, honestly, it could be in our lifetime to where we may not even need to talk to each other anymore. We'll be able to communicate through it. And there will be no loss of translation on communication.
Elon Musk is working on some good stuff.
Yeah.
Think about us doing our podcast.
I'd want to bang myself.
We'd just be
too.
sitting in this room,
Accurate.
and then people listen.
Think about
to
us all
sit in
four
this room.
just sitting here thinking and looking at each other, and then it just gets spit out to a computer and it's uploaded and boom.
I don't know if I like that. It's a lot. It's a lot of control over the people. Imagine
push-
who's running that program.
The
And
push
then pretty
for
soon
it,
the machines take over, and they use us as batteries.
I've seen iRobot.
we're in the Matrix.
Full circle.
Not a full.
The push for it, though, would be like communication issues are everywhere. There's lack of communication in your workplace. You see it everywhere. Like, lack of communication is huge
That's such a big
societal
problem.
issue.
Yeah.
And if you eliminate the lack of communication and it would be direct thoughts back and forth, that would be the push for it.
But can
Do you want your direct thoughts?
Can- yeah,
going
can
back
you-
and forth
Absolutely
to your
not.
withhold
coworkers?
them?
yeah.
Or is it like you can just read each other's brains? So if
No.
I'm sitting here going, God, look at that ass. Like,
God,
they
look
know
at
I'm
that.
thinking that? Or
pig.
what?
You pig.
You know what? Maybe it'd get you a lot further though, because then they'd be coming back like, "Damn, I'm so horny
Yeah.
right now."
And I'm very bad at like signals and stuff like that. So maybe, yeah, read my minds.
Star's all about it. I don't think that. I think there'd be an
Can I get a
ability to
sexual
withhold them.
harassment charge for my thoughts.
He's done it.
Oh God, don't come over by me. I just farted. Don't do it. You're disgusting.
That's a real thing. Yeah, but The Matrix, it's a decent movie. If we would have to rate it, let's do a butthole rating on The Matrix.
I'm gonna give it an 8.
I think I'm gonna go 6.4,
Damn.
which is higher than what I originally rated it at. But you guys talked me into going higher.
We didn't talk it. You just rated it yourself. I love it. I'm going 9.0.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah. It's up there. It hit all Gage's check marks.
Yeah,
almost
for
all
me,
of
I
them.
think I'm going to...
And it's a true love story. I mean, come on.
6. For me, it's about a 6. Good movie, not great. And I think the biggest hang-up on it is if, like I said, if I had watched it when it came out and the technology was new at the time, I think it would be different for me. But it's just not.
Star kind of knocked me. I was going to go like 9.3, 9.4. But then when you said like their touch screens are all the same, even in the future, that kind of...
I mean, that's every
But
movie,
they brought
though.
it down.
No one can picture what.
Yeah, you can't knock
Like
them for
Iron
that.
Man. Iron Man did it really well where he's like throwing
like trying
screens
stuff.
all over the fucking
Back
place.
to the Future. That hoverboards.
The hover... Yeah. It's
They
still
had.
a skateboard
Didn't they have like
dog.
the sports team that was actually in the World Series in 2015? I'm pretty sure they did.
The Cubs.
The Cubs won the World Series?
Yeah, they had that.
Yeah.
They predicted the future. I'd say that's pretty accurate.
Well, it's Steven Spielberg. Of course it's accurate.
He's a fucking time traveler.
What's the butthole score here, Brandon?
7.35 was actually our highest rating out of the 3 that we've done.
What was
Deserves it.
Back to the Futures?
6.9.
No.
No, that was
No, just go with it. It was 6.9.
yeah.
Back to the Futures was like 7.25 or something.
I have to go back and listen. I'm not keeping
I thought
an
it was
archive
higher.
right now.
Fuck.
I'm
Where's the
terrible at my
archive?
job. I should get fired. Gage, take over.
I resigned.
All right, you're rehired.
What movie does Brandon pick for us to watch this week? And remember, community, watch the movie with us. Shoot us your emails with your thoughts. We will read them out on the podcast.
Social medias too.
Social medias, tweet us, text us, or don't text me. Email me, whatever. Just don't text me.
Just a good opportunity, too, especially if you haven't seen the movies, to try out some movies that you've never watched before.
Yeah.
We got a review from Jeff
Oh,
Fej?
great.
Fej.
Did we really?
Yeah,
I'm
Fej.
sure this
He
is
walked.
gonna be
He
good.
said, "I love The Matrix. I thought the love story was great. The way Gage's Rage pronounced Neo's name while he was doing his review got me harder than calculus. I'd give it a 6.9.
He's listening live right now.
Fuck yeah, Fez.
Fej, what a dog.
Jeff, thank you. So my movie review, it was tough. I was originally going to go with The Founder, which is a story about how McDonald's became McDonald's.
Oh yeah.
However, it's no longer on Netflix, and you have to pay for it on Amazon Prime. And I said, "Well, fuck that."
Well, you could have just paid for it for all of us.
I could have.
We would all have to watch it in a 24-hour period. Then, wouldn't we?
Because I wouldn't buy it. I'd rent it.
Aw.
There's no way I'd spend $7.99. That'd be a 10.
Instead
It wasn't a 10. I mean, it was like a 9.6, but not a 10. So I scrolled through the Netflix today trying to find one. I came down to 2, and I made my decision.
Don't tell us the one you didn't pick, because you can keep that in your back pocket for later.
Well, I'm going to, for
Okay,
sure.
good.
Probably.
Maybe.
So, it is a 2020 Netflix original starring this guy in the car, and it's called The Last Days of American Crime.
You know what that Rotten Tomato score is,
I have no idea.
by any chance?
I can look it up. I have no
the
idea.
last days of American crime,
Yep. I don't want to get rid of that tab.
and it's a 2020.
It's pretty new. I've heard of it.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it.
You're lying, aren't you?
No, I read an article.
Oh,
about
it's
it.
terrible. That's got off. That's a 3.6 on IMDb.
It's 0% Rotten Tomatoes. That's the article I saw.
Well,
All right. Well,
You
whatever.
picked
We're
it.
in.
Good week.
we're
But
watching
we didn't
it.
say we're all watching for the first time, though,
Yeah.
so that's interesting.
That-
And critics are sometimes stupid.
Well, should I see what actual user reviews are on it really quick?
Sure.
Not Rotten Tomatoes, because Rotten Tomatoes it can be hit or miss.
What's
User
while
reviews.
he's looking at,
36% of Google users like
you should
this
Rotten
movie.
Tomato Matrix quick.
It was like 8.8.
Oh, good God, this movie. Users 311313212. This is all out of 10.
3.
Remember, this is out of 10. 4. So bad. Could have been good. That's the headline.
Could have been good.
1. Interestingly boring. Like how bad it is. 3 out of 10. 2 out of 10. 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. I literally don't see one good review on. Oh,
Listen,
a 5.
there's no going back. We're here.
Set
We're
in
here
motion.
now.
Hey,
I've
there is something
said
to
it.
be said for this. Is the first movie that we're watching as a Budhole group that none of us have seen the movie. Let's see what we got.
We may give it a lower score than 0%.
Do we know the runtime on it by chance?
Yeah, I'll get it here. I have it pulled up.
Rotten Tomatoes.
It is
Man. Tomato meter 0%. Audience score gave it 25.
Oh my God! It's a 2.5 hour movie.
15 minutes longer than The Matrix.
2.5 hours.
I should start it tonight and maybe I'll have it finished by
You guys,
next week.
we're in a grind here.
Let's read the little summary of it for everybody, so everybody knows.
Give me an
In the
actor.
not too distant future, as a final response to terrorism and crime, the United States government plans to broadcast a signal making it impossible for anyone to knowingly commit unlawful acts.
Government's controlling your brain to stop breaking the law, assholes.
And they're making one last push. Yeah, pretty much.
Stop breaking the law, assholes.
One guy gets the technology, and they're going to use it to make one last score and rob the people, and then, like the government, and then they're going to ride off into the sunset. So it's one last crime.
Well, we'll see what we got.
It's like The Purge.
Budhole 5. What is Brandon's Budhole 5 for the week?
You know, I put a lot of thought into it, actually, believe it or not. Don't believe it. I didn't put any thought into it.
Do you have a Budhole 5 or not?
No, I have Butthole 5.
Oh, fuck
absolutely. I'm committed to the bit.
Yeah, of course you are. You're very committed.
So, as we discussed earlier today, which was in this podcast, well, everybody knows the rules of Butthole 5, but I'll explain them anyways. So you have 30 seconds
35.
to name the top 5 answers in whatever category I give you. So I'm going to pose a question. You can name them out of order, but you just need to get the 5 answers. Whoever gets the most correct in 30 seconds wins. If there's a tie, we go to the next 5, so 6 through 10, if I can find those. If not, we do a tiebreaker round where we go back and forth, and the first person to answer the right, correct answer wins. So, since we're talking about it today, The Matrix.
Ooh.
Keanu Reeves was the star in that movie. I want you to give me the top 5 grossing Keanu Reeves movies. Top 5 grossing Keanu Reeves. Full names. It's tougher than you think. 15 seconds. Gage, phone down.
Fuck off.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. That's 35 seconds.
I got
Minus
2.
5.
I could not think of
There's a
the fucking
chance.
new movies that he's in.
Well, let's see what you got.
I have The Matrix and The Matrix 2 because I could not think of...
There's 3 of them, Doug.
Well, I know, but I couldn't think of the...
And you need to have the titles.
Yeah.
Full names.
Oh, I suppose. What the hell is the movies that he's in where...
John Wick.
John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick! I could not think of it. My brain just gave up on me.
Wait, are those ones special titles as well?
John Wick 2, I feel like you could, even though it's Chapter 2.
I'll let you know if I allow them or not. Star
Okay.
Lamar, I'll let you go second.
I have The Matrix,
Okay?
The Matrix Revolutions, John Wick Chapter 2, and Speed.
Ooh.
Gage's Rage.
I had John Wick 2, John Wick 3, and I had The Matrix Reloaded.
Well, Star Lamar came in first place today. Scott got 1 with The Matrix. That was his second highest grossing movie.
Son of a...
Gage's Rage had 2. John Wick Chapter 3. I allowed John Wick 3 in the situation. And Speed.
I did not have Speed.
You didn't say Speed? Oh, yeah, you had 2. You said The Matrix Reloaded and John Wick 3. Star Lamar had The Matrix, Speed, and did you say Revolutions? I think is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
3.
3.
So Matrix is one.
So
Matrix are
here's the order that it went in. The Matrix Reloaded made $742 million. The Matrix $463 million. The Matrix Revolutions $427. Speed $350. John Wick Chapter 3 $276.
John Wick 3. I thought 2 would have made the most.
for sure.
I was like, 1 was great, but people didn't see it in theaters. 2 would have had the biggest, and then people might have beat John Wick out and not go see 3. That was
Chapter
the basis
was
of it.
badass.
Chapter
though.
2
I haven't
was
seen it
10th.
yet. I got for Christmas, and I haven't watched it yet.
It went in reverse order for money made. 3, 2, 1. And it actually went in increments of 5. So it was 5, 10, 15.
That's usually how they go, though,
Yeah, you make more money the
as you
further
build
along.
it. As long as
And-
it's a good movie or a good series.
There's a little bit of, I mean, obviously these movies came out relatively close to each other, but a recency effect. Mm-hmm. You know, the more things are worth, and value of money hasn't changed that much since 2012 to 2020, but nonetheless, people are spending more money. You're
Think
going
about
out
it too,
spending
though, dude.
more
I think
on
The
a
Matrix
ticket.
3 was the least one for The Matrix, though, wasn't it?
Revolutions was third. Yes.
Because that people saw the second one and they're like, eh. And those came out back to back, like within a year of each other. I'm pretty sure.
And
2 and
that's
3?
They shot them back to back, and they released one in like November, and the next one in the summer.
that's a classic of the second one making a lot more money because The Matrix Reloaded almost doubled. I mean,
Yeah, because everyone saw the first one and was like, "This is amazing." Got super stoked for the second one, and then weren't as stoked for the third one after they saw the second one.
That's why in like movie series, the second one is always the one that tells you if it's going to be an all-time great movie series or die off
And
fast.
the third one is historically the worst. In trilogies, they say
Yeah.
that the third one's always the worst one.
so
But
Too
the
Fast,
third-
Too Furious was a really good movie.
But
is
the
what you're
third one
saying.
is also generally the one that either sells a
Story
lot because
3.
the anticipation's built super high from 1 and 2, or it's not as popular.
Toy
You look
Story
at-
2.
As far as Iron Man goes, Iron Man 2 is by far the worst Iron Man. I like 3.
yeah.
I like the original and I like 3.
Yeah.
2 is the one that's forgettable.
Two-
There was
very
only
blah.
there was only 3 Iron Mans, correct?
Yeah.
Two was the
Was
only
2
one I
with
remember.
Cable?
Two was
Two-
with the black guy when they
two
had the
had-
army of Iron Men.
No, that's 3.
That's 3.
Oh shit!
2 is the
with
one with
Cable.
Whiplash.
Yeah, Whiplash. That's what it
The
is.
racetrack.
Cable, his partner. He was the big guy.
Cable is in Deadpool 2.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
That's
you're right.
it. He's an
That's
X-Men
Cable.
character.
Yep. I was thinking Whiplash was Cable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Iron Man 2, as the Thor movies, I wasn't a huge fan of 1, but 2 is the worst. 3 is the best. As far as Thor goes. Captain America, I think 1 was the worst. This is fun to go back to that. What, you
Thor is
didn't
actually
like
kind of a chore to get to 3, but it's well
Yeah,
worth it.
Thor
3?
and Captain America. They're both.
Captain America Civil War and Captain America Winter Soldier were both
Civil
good.
War
Yeah,
doesn't
but-
count.
That's the third Captain America movie.
1 is just kind
Captain
of
America
okay.
1 and Thor 1 were both okay.
And then what's Winter
Thor
Soldier?
2, Winter Soldier was good. You don't like Winter Soldier? That was like an espionage
Winter
thriller.
Soldier
it was
was
very
really good.
different than...
That's Captain America too.
It
right?
wasn't kick, kick, punch, punch like most of them, but I thought it was super good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Wasn't that 2?
Yeah.
So your theory is shit.
Why?
You just said 2 is the worst.
No, he said 1 was the worst of
I
Captain
said
America.
of Captain America. I said historically speaking, 3 is usually the worst. Godfather Part 3, Return of the Jedi, X-Men, The Last
Tokyo
Stand.
Drift.
Like that. The third one is normally where it goes downhill. They talk about it in Scream.
Yep.
It's not a standalone. Tokyo Drift plays a part in the Fast and
It
Furious
takes place between 6 and 7. No, in
Yeah.
between. Is it 6 and 7?
I think so.
Yeah,
Because
because
it's where...
Shaw kills Han. So
spoiler!
for Han's not dead. Fast and Furious 9 delayed a year because of the big C, but it'll be back.
The Big C.
All right. Well, with that being said, thank you everybody for checking it out. This podcast, I mean, when I say checking it out, not anything else. Definitely not anything else.
Watch the Last
Day of
American...
Crime.
Last Day of American Crime. Is that what it...
Watch
It kinda
this
sounds
3 out
like
of 10 movie
The
that Brandon
Purge.
wants us all to
Last
watch.
American Crime.
The Last Days of American Crime. Truthfully, it sounds like a terrible movie.
I gotta
I
off,
should have went
off
with
mic
my other option to start.
figure
Here
out
I
some
am.
movies you guys have and haven't seen.
Okay.
Going forward.
We'll workshop it after this.
Sounds
With
great.
that being said, peace out.
Go jerk off.
Bye.
Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Budhole. Check us out on Twitter as well, @officialbudhole, Instagram, @officialbudhole, TikTok, @officialbudhole. And if you have questions or comments, email us at officialbudhole@gmail.com. Also, make sure to check out our Teespring website where we have sweatshirts and t-shirts, and our website itself where we post blogs and whatnot. Both of the links will be posted in our description for the episode. Please leave a rating on whichever platform you're listening on, as well as make sure to hit that subscribe button so we can continue to bring you the great content we create, as well as make it even better for the future. We love you all. Peace out.